I am currently serving on the Chicago Association of Realtors Board of Directors, and I am the state chair for our state legislative contacts for Illinois Realtors.
What does that mean?
So every legislator in Illinois is assigned a realtor, and the purpose of that role is so that when there are new legislative items that are introduced, that we get in front of them and say, hey, this is how it impacts your community and the constituents that you serve. And we ask that you support or not support a bill depending on how it impacts property owners.
That's a lot of hats to wear.
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of hats. What time do you wake up in the morning?
Too early. Usually 5:30.
Oof. Okay. 5:30. I'm still in bed at 5:30. Well, aside from, the, we'll call it political side, this calendar year that just closed out, what do you see coming down the pipe for our industry with this legislation that's about to hit, or the chatter that we're hearing?
Well, we have some interesting changes coming if tax reform in its current state passes. Our homeowners who are paying more than $10,000 in state taxes, state property taxes rather, could be impacted by this new legislation, and property owners with mortgages that are over $500,000, you're going to be impacted. So it's going to be a challenge. So we would invite every realtor to respond to the call for action, and our consumers, we also have a website that we'd love for you.
I got to be honest, because we had a conversation about this in the office, and I tossed it around with the guys. I'm a little confused because there's so many back and forth that I keep hearing. This is a positive, this is a negative. Ultimately, the way that I viewed it, reading in between the lines, is that it's almost a wash. So correct me if I'm wrong. It's a loophole on one aspect, but you're reaping a benefit on the other end.
I think that when you look at the overall bill, homeowners are going to be impacted, and it is not necessarily a positive impact for the state of Illinois.
We got to find a way to survive, right? And figure out a way to move past this, because if this does pass, what was it? The individual exemption was $250,000 for a single person who's selling a home, correct?
Correct.
And a married couple is $500,000.
Yeah, so they're keeping that. They're just going to increase the number of years you need to actually stay in the property. But again, nothing is finalized yet. I think the important note from all of this is that we all have to be engaged. We can't take for granted that our legislators are going to act on our behalf. We need to be involved every step of the way. It potentially shouldn't have gotten to this point had we all raised our collective voices. There are 1.3 million realtors across the nation. So we should have been involved a lot earlier.
Can you touch on that a little bit? When you mentioned a second ago that we would have to be in the property a bit longer. I read something yesterday that you would have to had resided in the property at least 5 years within the last 8.
5 to 8 is the new one.
Okay, 5 to 8 is the new one. And currently you would have to reside in your home.
I think it's 2 to 5.
2 to 5 years.
Of the last 5 right now.
So maybe we can meet in the middle. So all you politicians out there, if you're listening,
Nykea, let them know
that. National Association of Realtors is all over this. There are people who are called federal political coordinators. So at the federal level, you have realtors who are assigned to each congressman, each senator, and we've already started advocating the 5 points that we really want to communicate about this current bill. For realtors, if you text 30644 on your cell phone, you can actually respond right through your mobile alert. For consumers, if you go to homeownershipmatters.com, you can actually, I think it's .realtor now. Okay. You'll actually be able to respond from the consumer side. So it's important that we all stand up and understand. Always is to make sure that we're bringing the latest real estate news, the up-to-date training, and educational opportunities for our members. That's really the primary goal. We also look to develop women as leaders in our businesses and our communities.
That's one thing I loved about the organization, and we're very fortunate to help out Women Council here in Chicago. It's just the women empowering each other and growing each year. I just thought that was very cool to be a part of. A lot of people know I have a daughter, and I always like to have my daughter around very strong women, and I praise you guys all the time because kids pick up on that, and it's very important that we support these types of organizations because women power is very important.
It
Well,
is.
thank you guys for being a strong strategic partner for the past few years.
Yeah.